My name is Kevin.
I'm DJ.
And we're here to talk about Mass Effect 3. It's been like about a month, I guess, since the game initially came out.
Almost a month, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like a good time as any to start talking about all the different things that are going on with ME3 post-launch, because there is a lot to cover. I mean, not only dealing with the ending and things like that, but multiplayer.
Yeah, because no one knows about the ending.
Right. But I guess we should just jump off and get started. We'll do.
By the way, spoilers. If you didn't beat it, don't watch this.
Obviously, I mean, it's been out for a month, so especially, I mean, and, you know, if you're a fan, you probably the one watching this. I'm guessing you probably beat it. But anyways, we'll start out just talking about single player and stuff like that, and go from there, especially with some of the new announcements that have just happened recently. But, so the big thing that everybody's really contentious about to start with is the ending. And before we go into like theories and things like that, I want to just go off what your initial impression was when you sat down and beat the game. Because when you beat the game, you didn't hear any spoilers or anything.
Right. I was actually good. I did not look up anything involving the ending.
So after you got up on, you know, Catalyst and talked to, well, no, got up onto the Crucible, talked to the Catalyst Space Child thing, and made your what choice did you make first?
First, I did Control because, you know, after playing 2 Mass Effect games already, I just looked at the colors and I was like, you know, blue, middle, red.
And you've been playing as Paragon the entire time.
Yeah, so I just initially was like, oh, probably should go the blue path.
Seems like good, even though why is the elusive man there?
Yeah, so I finished it, and it was really late when I did finish it. So
yeah.
I was kind of like just in shock, and I had all the war assets I pretty much needed. I had over 6,000.
So yeah, so you were about 6K, and you had all 3 choices laid out.
Yeah, and so when I finished it, I was more just in shock. I was kind of confused. I literally sat up in bed for a good hour just thinking about what I saw, and I wasn't sure what to think of it. And when I got up the next day, I did the other 2 just to see what would happen. And
so you went out and you took Marauder shields down 2 more times? And
no, it's when you do the mission again, it starts you off right when you go up in the Citadel.
Oh, okay.
So I just, you know, did the dialogue 2 more times just to see what the other 2 endings were like, and obviously right away I noticed just like the endings are
all the
almost the same.
Pretty colored explosions, right?
Yeah. Everyone knows about that.
Okay, and so then after that happened, how did you feel?
Then I was annoyed.
Annoyed,
especially, you know, when they were obviously building up the hype that there were going to be 16 different endings, and even on IGN's, even on their wiki page, they had 16 endings laid out. So I guess they assume that too. If you go on there now, it's changed. It's only like 4 or something, yeah. But yeah, I was just kind of confused, and then I went on YouTube and I looked up all the different endings, and they were the same.
If you try to look for like all 16, you have to look really hard to see are soldiers cheering or are they not? That kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's of course that one video where there's, I don't know, six playing at once, and it just shows you back to back what's happening.
That's probably is the worst piece of evidence to make you feel it's like, wow, these are almost 95% all the same.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So, and after that, you know, I'm guessing any kind of outside opinion starts saying, yeah, the ending, not that great, right?
And then, and my roommate was really excited about getting the game, and so was actually another guy that I knew. And I told him, you know what, beat the game first, and then think about buying it, but, you know, play it first, beat it, and then tell me what you think. And both of those people were equally as upset as I was, especially when I told them, you know, it was like, you know, play the rest, you know, try the other ending, see what happens. They were just like, yeah, this stinks.
Yeah.
Basically.
I pretty much have a similar experience to you. Playing late at night when you know, within the first week of the game coming out, I've been spacing it out between multiplayer and single player, so. But, you know, get to the ending, after I'm done shooting Tim, I go up, I'm like, this is very weird, and then it's just, you know, and I you know, to see that the final person I'm going to talk to is that kid again. I'm not a huge fan of the kid from the beginning of the game, since I felt like he was really a manipulative sort of plot device, and then it's just like, wow, yeah, really manipulative plot device. But And so I ended up choosing Synthesis out of all of them because it just seemed like the most sci-fi-ish kind of ending. And I didn't want Edie to die. I like Edie a lot, and that seemed to be the only option where Edie did not die. So I jumped into the big green beam, got the the ending, and I'm just like, oh no, the mass relays are gone. That detail right there, and a lot of fans I feel like sometimes, the detail that the Mass Effect relays blow up is probably the thing that really sucks the most, because it just takes away all the optimism, optimism for the future.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If they wanted an ending where no matter what you did, Shepard died, I would have been fine with that. Totally fine. But just the thing that really gets me are the plot holes, and yeah, just the feeling that your war assets really don't account to much.
We'll come back to the plot holes in just a second. So, what do you think about like Stargazer as well? You're the one who pointed out to me, they totally ripped that off from some like public image source.
Right, but there was another image about that too. You know, the Tally pic. Yeah, if you romance Tally, there's a I'm sure some of you know about this, but there's a picture that they took from Getty Images, and they photoshopped it to make her look like a Quarian.
Take off 2 fingers, put some glowy lines on her.
And that's Tally's face, basically.
And your argument is they should have spent more time with it, right?
I thought it was incredibly lazy. I thought if they really wanted to do that, why couldn't they just make a face model for her? Or, why couldn't they have at least put their own original image on there instead of just photoshopping a picture?
We know you've got artists over there and that you can do it, so why you didn't? Yeah. The argument from them is that like they didn't, it's sort of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because half the fan base wanted to see your face, the other half didn't. Apparently that's what it was. But
back to Stargazer though, that image, if the man and his grandson,
grandkid, it's the snow, right?
Right, but that image at the very end of the grandfather and the kid, that's also taken right from another sort. It's like a desktop background. And again, I just thought that was kind of odd that they couldn't make up their own scene.
Buzz Aldrin, right? That's the voice actor.
Yeah.
It's great to get some
history.
Yeah, but he's not the best voice actor.
That didn't bother me though.
Stargazer, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's a weird scene, but it was kind of cool, I guess. I don't know, but I also, like, when I got done with the game, I was just sort of like, sat, thought about it. I couldn't really form an opinion with the aftershock of all the stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that actually happens during the ending, but all of it feels like a deal with the devil. Like, you say the Reapers, but Chef probably doesn't make it unless, you pick that one ending where he takes a breath, and even then we're still not sure. Your crew is saved, but you don't get to hang out with them. And the mass relays, they're gone. So everybody who's on Earth is screwed.
The crew. That was one big plot hole that really bothered me.
That is the big plot hole.
So pretty much throughout, the entire Mass Effect series, I really got to care about Garrus and Tally, right? Who didn't.
Yeah. Were those the two that you took on?
Yes, those were the two I took, and their images are at the bottom, and I even played it again, make sure they were behind me, and they are right behind you. And apparently there's a deleted scene that shows them getting, whoever you take with you getting
extracted or
getting evaporated by Harbinger. But again, it seems so weird to me that, Shepard gets hit with the beam and they just ditch you. I mean, how else could they wind up on the Normandy? And I did see them both walk out of the Normandy, so that means that
they cut tail and run.
They just ran, which seems totally out of character for Garrus, who's always said, I've got your back.
He's going to see you up in heaven at the next bar.
It's like, yeah.
But you're going to get there first, Shepard.
Thanks, Garrus. Like, oh, this I'm out of here.
Yeah, so I like the entire last area section at the end, right before you do the where you talk to everybody for the last time. You get the distinct impression everybody's got your back and they wouldn't cut tail on you. And not even Joker either. But so I mean, if you listen to the radio chatter, they say everybody got dead, so evacuate, retreat, and all that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
And Anderson follows you up anyway, and you don't even hear him over the radio say, "No, lay that order. We're going. Let's go."